Hi everyone. In this video, I want to show you attrition prediction. Now do keep in mind, we are getting into really technical areas now. And the point of this video is just to give you a very general introduction to show you what the capability of these no-code generative AI platforms like ChatGPT are. But do keep in mind that this is not advisable to do without having any background in machine learning, statistical analysis, Python libraries. It is very important for you to get your fundamentals right. Of course, ChatGPT can help you with that as well, which means that the interpretation, the explainability, all of that can also happen in ChatGPT. But then, however you do it, either you pick up a book, ask a friend, or you ask ChatGPT, please make sure not to do machine learning, going blindly into it. While you might get fantastic results and they might even be correct, how do you explain it and justify it to someone? Please keep that in mind. Okay, so with that out of the way, we are working on the Excel file called Attrition Prediction. Let us see what data we have. So right now I have with me the age, the gender, department, job level, monthly income, the years spent at the company, work-life balance, the job satisfaction score, overtime, distance from home, training hours last year, and attrition, yes or no. So what we're going to do is to go to ChatGPT, and I'm simply going to upload our Excel file. And we will ask it to do attrition prediction. Like I said, it is as easy as that. Even with no background in programming, you can actually ask ChatGPT to do all the heavy lifting for you. But like I said, you still have to understand how the code is working. Of course, ChatGPT is helping you a lot. If you notice, it is even giving you comments for every single step that it is performing, which is fabulous. Please make sure to take out the time and read all of it. If there's something you don't understand, go to ChatGPT and ask it to explain it to you in an easy manner, and make sure that your fundamentals are clear before moving forward. Perfect. As you can see, it is able to read the file. It has identified all the features. A feature is just a way of saying an independent variable. And obviously the target variable is attrition, which is a binary value, 0 for no, 1 for yes. So initially it is doing the EDA, the exploratory data analysis. Then it is using two libraries for visualization, Matplotlib and Seaborn. And we'll wait for it to get completed. Now do remember, like all the other examples in generative AI, there is randomness. So your output might be different to mine. It depends on a random output, also on the model that we are using. So depending on whether you're using 4.0, a free one, a paid one, the answers might change. So as you can see here, it has given us a feature correlation heat map, which I feel is quite handy to have. Then we also have an attrition distribution. It gives me the training hours by attrition. And then we also have monthly income, years at company, distance from home. So after the EDA is done, it is telling me overtime and attrition show a moderate correlation. It tells me that there is some influence that monthly income, years at company, and distance from home have. And it tells me something about a class imbalance, which remember is beyond the scope of this video, but you can always go and read about it, and you should. And then it gives me some insight. Now comes the machine learning part. So it is using one of the most popular libraries for machine learning in Python called scikit-learn, which is the sklearn that you see. It is using a random forest classifier. Now remember, there are many other methods that we can use. This one is random forest. Either I could have asked it to choose only random forest. Otherwise, in this case, it is deciding it on its own. And as you can see, we end up getting a 84%, which is a good overall performance. So it tells me that the model correctly identifies employees staying, but the model struggles to capture all attrition cases. And then of course it creates something called a confusion matrix. So it tells me that most employees will stay correctly but misses some attrition cases. And it also tells me what could be the next steps for improvement. Now, if I ask it to visualize my feature selection, just as an example, as you can see, it also gives me a visual showing me all the different features along with the importance score. Now, in terms of explainability, if you want to explain it to a non-technical manager, you can use ChatGPT for that as well, as you can see. Oh, by the way, the insights are really good. It tells me which factors are more important and less important. So now we will say, how do I explain all of this to a non-technical manager? And as you can see, like a good consultant, it is breaking it down into categories, telling me, starting with why have we done the analysis, what our learning takeaways have been, and I really like the way it is able to use simple explanation. There's a statement and then a why next to it, and then of course there are actionable recommendations. Just to close this example, I also want to show you how to run this on Google Colab. So I'm going to now tell it, thanks, can you write the complete code so that I can run it on Google Colab? It should first ask the user to upload the file, then do the rest of the model and visuals. So all of this was running within the ChatGPT environment, and of course ChatGPT can run it really well, as you saw. We also want the ability to be able to run it on Google Colab, which is a great environment and a free environment to run machine learning codes on. So as you can see, it is just making the necessary changes. For example, it has added a step for uploading the file, which was not there in ChatGPT because we had added it directly. So we'll wait for it to get complete. In the meantime, I'll open Google Colab. So you can sign in with your Gmail account. We come to Google Colab. We create a new notebook. And now we can come back. We'll wait for it to complete the code. And remember, when you copy and paste the code and something doesn't work, no need to worry. As a programmer, errors will happen all the time. And there are lots of reasons as to why errors happen. Whenever you face an error, just copy the error, bring it back to ChatGPT, and it will explain it and resolve it for you. But for the moment, fingers crossed, we'll copy it, come back to Google Colab, run it. Now remember, the first step is for us to be able to upload the file, which is the attrition file. So as you can see, when I run the code, it first asks me to choose the file that we want. So we click on choose file, attrition prediction. And once the file has been uploaded, the rest is automated. As you can see, we have the data, we have our heat map, the attrition distribution, the box plot, model accuracy, the classification report. Then we have our confusion matrix, feature importance. Pretty good, right? So that's an example. It was just a very, very gentle introduction to those of you who have never worked on Python, Google Colab, machine learning, scikit-learn earlier, to tell you that now all of this can be automated and done just by writing prompts. But then it's also important to have the fundamental understanding of how these things work.